So there's a rumor I heard, I don't know if it's actually true or not, but I heard that if this movie doesn't do well, then this might just be the end for the Fantastic Beasts movie series. Eee. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. So The Secrets of Dumbledore is the third movie in this Fantastic Beasts film series, which is the Harry Potter prequel series. Takes place, I think we're in the 1930s this time around. The Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald, played this time by Mads Mikkelsen, he's still out there doing bad things. He's still gathering his followers, not much has changed. And Albus Dumbledore, played once again by Jude Law, is still unable to fight him because of that blood oath thing we remember from the last movie. So instead, he assembles a team consisting of Newt Scamander, his brother Theseus, Newt's assistant Bunty, the Nomads Jacob Kowalski, Yusuf Kama, and Ilvermorny Professor Lally Hicks. This is Dumbledore's first army, and they're gonna go on some convoluted plot to take down Grindelwald. And so here we go, and man did this movie bum me out. Yeah, folks, I hate to say this, but I'm depressed now. Because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, I love the wizarding world. You know this about me by now. Hell, I'm wearing a Harry Potter shirt, I have quite a few character wands. This is actually Dumbledore's wand from the Fantastic Beasts movies. But this movie, yeah, oh my god, what a mess. I mean, okay, first off, the characters. Eddie Redmayne comes back as Newt Scamander, and he's still very likable. And it's true that his character doesn't get as much shine in this movie because this does appear to be the one that shifts the focus of main character from him to Albus Dumbledore, which I did suspect was going to happen given the trajectory of where the series is going, but then I realized, well, wait a minute. I mean, Dumbledore's a great character, we all love him, but Newt is really likable too, so the fact that Newt is not the main character anymore, it does feel kind of weird. I will touch on Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald though, because I don't want to say he's an improvement over Johnny Depp because I thought Johnny Depp was actually really good in that role. Mads Mikkelsen I thought was equally good. Again, he doesn't really get a lot of shine, well, I guess that's not true. He is in a lot of this movie, and he does do a really good job. I guess for me, it just took some getting used to. And it's funny, as I was watching this movie, when Ezra Miller came on the screen, I was like, oh yeah, he's in this franchise. Ooh boy, as Ron Weasley once said, that's unfortunate. And it is unfortunate because he is a good actor. In fact, his arc in this movie is one of the ones I didn't hate. Because at the end of Crimes of Grindelwald, it was revealed, oh, he's actually Aurelius Dumbledore. He is a Dumbledore, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I do know how I feel. I don't like it. But surprisingly enough, in this movie, where he ends up, I was like, alright, you know what? I'm cool with that. It worked for me. And I will say, Lally Hicks, she was a standout in this movie. She brings a new sense of comedy to it because she's really witty. Her interactions with Jacob Kowalski I thought were highlights. She's really likable for sure. As is Jacob Kowalski, once again played by Dan Fogler. Like, the characters are not the well, some of the characters are problems. The ones I just listed off, they're the ones I remember. There are other characters in this movie that are just plain forgettable because you do not care about them. Like Bunty, you don't really end up caring about her. Yusuf Kama, who cares about him? The funny thing is, all the problems that people had with Crimes of Grindelwald that I didn't, because honestly, I didn't hate Crimes of Grindelwald as much as everyone else did, but the problems that people did have with it that I didn't, I had with this movie. Because this movie is just, it's all over the place. It's really just, it's way too convoluted. Because all these characters are doing their different things, so this movie is trying to be like Game of Thrones or Two Towers, where it's like concentrating on several story arcs at once, and it just doesn't work because you don't care about quite a few of them. You don't care about what Bunty's doing, you don't care about what Yusuf Kama's doing. You feel like these story arcs were tacked onto the movie for the sake of drawing out the runtime, for the sake of drawing out this series into 5 movies. Yeah, this is the one where I will finally say this series should not have been drawn out into 5 movies. It really should have been a trilogy at max. Because as I was watching this movie, I was like watching things happen, and I was like, okay, things are happening in this movie for the sake of things happening. Like, nothing is really relevant. In fact, this movie almost feels like just more of Crimes of Grindelwald. It's Crimes of Grindelwald 2.0. It's more of the same. There's not really a lot of escalation in the plot from the second movie. Grindelwald is still out there gathering his followers. Dumbledore still can't fight him. We know the series is leading up to the big climactic duel between Grindelwald and Dumbledore, which I imagine will be the 5th movie if it ever happens. But while we're waiting for that, we're here in the 3rd movie, and so it's just like we're waiting. So what do we do in the meantime while we're waiting? I don't know, let's just do stuff. That's really what this movie feels like. We're just biding our time. Cause I will say, this movie drags for a good chunk of it. I actually got kind of bored. I never thought I would ever get bored in a Wizarding World movie. Cause this is the Wizarding World. This is one of the big, nerd franchises of the world right now. Think about it. We have Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Harry Potter. It's one of them. This world has such a huge, devoted fan base, and it's not like this movie killed my entire love for it. No, I still love Harry Potter. But this movie just, oh my god. Again, I'm sad, I'm depressed. Because I had hope for this one. I was like, okay, they've had 4 years since the last movie to go, okay, we'll take that negative feedback that the last one got, and we'll learn from it, and we'll actually get this series back on track. They could have done that. They could have. And who knows, maybe with this one they tried to do that. But in my opinion, they just didn't succeed. In fact, they succeeded in making a movie that I personally thought was worse than Crimes of Grindelwald. Yeah. Worse. I know the general consensus is that this movie is better than Crimes of Grindelwald, but still not great, so I might just be in the minority on that. But what can I say? That's just where I stand. I mean, this movie's not the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. In fact, there were some really good scenes in this movie. Some scenes involving the Fantastic Beasts with Newt and Theseus, those were actually pretty fun. In fact, any scene with the Fantastic Beasts in Newt and Theseus' story arc, I ended up having a great time with them. You could tell the filmmakers were like, alright, people are saying that the series is losing the Fantastic Beasts element because the series is in fact called Fantastic Beasts. They kind of screwed themselves there. So we should give the Fantastic Beasts themselves some more shine. And yeah, they do get some more shine in this movie, I will say it. And I liked it. They made for some good laughs, and there were also some pretty good scenes involving Dumbledore and Aurelius Dumbledore / Credence Ezra Miller. And during these good scenes, I was like, alright, so the movie knows how to do some things right, but really those good scenes were too few and far between. I like the visual effects, the movie looks really cool. I like being back at Hogwarts, I like seeing the Fantastic Beasts, I like seeing the magic and spells. I still love the enchanting wizarding world that J.K. Rowling has created, but really, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been so disappointed with the Wizarding World movies since Half-Blood Prince. Granted, it's for different reasons, but still equally disappointing. As for the score, once again, it's done by James Newton Howard, and it's still pretty good music. I will say this is probably my least favorite score of the 3 so far. I mean, there's some good stuff in there, and of course they bring back themes from the other 2 movies. Like, if for nothing else, the score is one of the best things about this movie. But in the end, the characters are good, and there are some good scenes in this movie. But the fact that it's really just all over the place, and there are quite a few characters and story arcs that you just don't care about, you don't. And they go on for a good chunk of the movie in which you're just sitting there watching it like, why is any of this happening? And that's just not good. It really does depress me to say that for Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, I will say, wait until you can stream this movie online. I'm still looking forward to that Hogwarts Legacy game though, because it still looks awesome. And I will say that I do still want the series to keep going, because for me, if the series were just to stop right here because of the box office numbers, that to me would be worse than if it were to keep going. Because sure, as bad as a series might seem, I do still want to see it through. I want to see resolution, sue me. So, Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, have you seen it yet? What do you think about it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!